Monique here, and I am so excited that you have decided to join me on my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been with me for a while, then you already know how this goes. But my channel truly focuses on helping those that want to design in the footwear or handbag space, design their own lines without going to traditional school. I've also added a small segment to my channel where I walk you all through some of my grief journey as well as give out tips around grieving. So there's also going to be a tab somewhere on my channel where you can find a little bit of access to kind of the inside of my life as well as how I am navigating grief very newly, but how I am navigating grief not only personally, but even just as a full-time entrepreneur and kind of in this whole new world, right? But if you are new here, please remember to subscribe to this channel and to share my channel and any of the videos that you truly love. Please don't hesitate to leave comments as well. I always respond. I love responding and interacting with you all, and I'm happy to put out content that you all are interested in. So please ask me for suggestions as well. So I've been all about transparency this whole time that I've had my channel, and I'm really digging into transparency now in a whole new way, in a whole new light. And what I wanted to do in this particular video was I wanted to tell some truths. So I wanted to give you all my top 7 mistakes that I made when I started my shoe business. And I want to give these to you for several reasons. But the main one is so that you don't make these same mistakes when you start your shoe business. These mistakes can go with almost any business, especially if you are a designer or in the e-commerce space. The mistakes that I'm going to talk about probably will impact or be relevant to a lot of you as well. So I encourage you to keep watching, even if you are not creating a shoe store or a handbag store as well. But anyway, let's jump right into today's video. So my first mistake, I was not consistent when I first started. I was not consistent in my marketing plan. I was not consistent on social media. I was not even consistent in my styles and my sizing. The biggest thing was I was trying to sell wholesale shoes. I was trying to design shoes. I was doing all sorts of things, and almost none of them were working. The biggest thing, the name of my store when I first started was called True to Size Shoes. That immediately thinks, oh, I'm going to get shoes that are true to size. They're going to fit me correctly, right? That's what one would hope. My sizing was all over the place because I was selling shoes from all different kind of places, from different manufacturers and different vendors. It was a mess. My sizing chart did not add up. I also wasn't delivering on my promise, which was I was going to sell sizes 5 through 13. I barely had any size 5s. I didn't have any size 13s at all. I couldn't find 12s or 13s. All of my vendors at that time only went up to size 10, and a few would have like one size 11 in one style that I could get. It was a mess. I was not consistent. And I had to learn very quickly that I don't need to be selling a whole bunch of stuff. My site doesn't have to have all of this turnover to be successful. I just need to be selling the right stuff and getting in front of the right people all the time. Getting new eyes on my business, the right eyes on my business, and selling the right thing is what really changed the game for me. So once I learned to be consistent, not only in my products, I learned to be consistent in my marketing strategies and the ways in which that I'm getting in front of my audience. I put in place a marketing plan for me to have emails. I sent about 3 emails a week. That's intentional. I put my customers into an email journey. Once they purchase from me, they don't just get spam emails all the time. They're getting very intentional email journeys that are getting them taking them from here to here, to here to here, very specifically, because now I have a taste of who you are. I know what you like on my site. I saw what you purchased, what you're willing to spend. So now I can cater my content to you in that very specific way. Also, keeping up. That's the other thing is, it's so much harder when you lose the interest. When you're not consistent, you start to lose interest of your customers because remember, you go on the model of know, like, and trust. People buy from people and companies they know, they like, and they trust. I'm just going to sit this over here because it kind of keeps falling. But anyway, you want to make sure that you are being consistent. Do not be like me when I first started. I didn't have a lot of stuff in place properly, and it was everywhere. My business was everywhere. My numbers were everywhere. All of that. Clean it up now. The second mistake was huge, y'all. I took out funding, the wrong kind of funding, way too soon. I felt like, oh, I need money for my business. So instead of me applying for more grants or getting local loans, like from the small business programs in my area. I tried to go big. I wanted to get a loan from the bank. I ended up getting a high interest loan. I ended up even doing one of those loans where they fund you like the next day, but then your payments are every day. It was a nightmare, y'all, because if I didn't get sales for 2 or 3 days, I didn't have payments. I couldn't pay, so then I'm getting fees. It was a mess. I forgot what those kind of loans are called. If I can remember, I'll put the name of them right here. But I was taking out the wrong kind of funding. Really, I shouldn't have been taking out funding just to buy inventory at that time anyway. What I really learned, for me, this is not for everybody, but for me, it's better for me to take out money for very intentional testing so that I can take out proper amounts. So I wanted to set an advertising budget. I could put money toward an advertising budget and not necessarily toward just buying new inventory, because I wasn't moving what I already had. So I was taking out money thinking, well, I just don't have the right stuff, opposed to taking out money and putting it toward advertising to push the stuff that I already had that people just weren't seeing. So that was a really, really big error for me. And luckily, I recovered in a lot of ways from that. But I still think about it often. Actually, every time I'm looking at kind of my bookkeeping, when I think about taking out any kind of funding, I always really consider all the things. Please look at the interest rate. Please look at the term of the loan. Please look at the collateral that they're asking of you. Please look at the payback. If you're taking out $5,000 and you owe them 12, that's a horrible loan in a lot of ways. And we don't know that if we've never dealt with business funding. Also, you're doing a lot of stuff under your business name, but a lot of these YouTubers and folks will tell you just put everything in your business name. But a lot of companies, when you're less than 2 years old, they still require you as the guarantor under your personal credit, under your personal name, to go with your business. So yes, it's totally cool for you to create this business, create this LLC, put the car under it, take the loan out under it or whatever. But if you're not really doing it for your business, you're going to end up in a rabbit hole. And also, don't think that putting stuff in your business name is automatically going to eliminate you as the person being responsible for or having some type of impact on the decision that's being made for how you're going to get that funding or that loan or whatever it is. So I highly recommend figure out how to apply for grants first. Look at local stuff in your community, things that are locally for you. You don't have to run to the big bank especially if you don't understand business financing or business funding, and especially if you're brand new. That was a really huge mistake, and I don't want any of you all to make that mistake. The third mistake that was really big for me was I wasn't delivering on my promise. I decided to sell wholesale when I first started. And what wholesale is basically where there's a vendor who is willing to sell you their shoes. They buy basically a whole bunch. They buy thousands and thousands and thousands, and then they create what we call size runs. So they tell you what sizes you can order, and they sell them to you at a wholesale price, and then you resell them. So I was selling wholesale, but here's the issue. I started my business to fill in the gap for women in non-standard sizes. So those who were below a size 7 and those who were above a size 9. And here was the issue. The gap was in the market because people didn't create these sizes. So I was buying from the same folks, and I'm still only selling sizes 7 through 10. So here it is that I told my customers I'm going to carry sizes 5 through 13, and I totally wasn't. I was a liar in that sense, and I had to pull back on that very quickly. I had to realize that starting a business, you got to be dedicated to the mission of it, because I was thinking, oh, this is going to get my feet wet. This is how I'm going to get the money to start designing my own shoes. But I came out with the messaging and didn't deliver on it. So, of course, if you come out with the messaging on something, and then you don't deliver on it, people don't trust you, so they're not buying even what you're selling off rip. So when I tell y'all I donated so many of those wholesale shoes, let me not say I wasted, because everything is a lesson learned, right? But I went through so much money. I experienced so much loss in my first 2 years of business because I was operating on a model that didn't work for what I was creating. I had a very good idea. I still have a very good idea, having this niche market of selling shoes to women and creating shoes for women in non-standard sizes, because no one is still doing it at this magnitude. It's still very far and few in between. I believe in the U.S. right now, there are only 6 of us in the luxury market space who go up to a size 13. to be completely honest, and many of them don't go below a size 10. They sell sizes 10 through like 15. I'm the only one that's selling sizes 7 through 13 now. But I started off selling wholesale, and that was a big mistake. I should have taken my time and walked my customers through the journey of manufacturing, and then started with my manufacturer, choose my actual designs, and which is where I am now. That is what I do. So that was a big mistake that I made. The fourth one, and y'all, I beat myself up about this. So the pandemic happened in 2020. That's at least when it started and got really big for me. And I remember seeing everybody jump on TikTok. And I was like, I'm not doing another trend. I'm not getting on TikTok. Y'all, I had the biggest attitude and like a gripe almost against this new platform popping up. And that was a big error in my part, because TikTok got so huge that TikTok helped brands become $1 million brands with zero marketing budget. I'm on TikTok now. I'm reaping the benefits of TikTok now, but it's so different. TikTok is way more saturated now. I have to be way more trendy. I have to do a lot of stuff, but it's still the same philosophy. TikTok is a great way to organically reach people. TikTok's algorithm pushes out videos that are trending. It pushes out sounds that are trending. So all I have to do is create content with these sounds and these videos and these dances or whatever, using my branding and my aesthetic, and TikTok pushes it out for free to folks. Grows my audience, gets people to my website, helps me to make purchases. But that was my biggest mistake. I didn't get a TikTok until the end of 2021. I really missed the mark by waiting. Now, my TikTok, y'all, I have a whole TikTok plan. And now even Instagram is doing Reels. It's the same concept as TikTok, right? Instagram and Facebook, the entire metaverse now has these Reels, or these short, fun videos that they're pushing. That video content is where it lives now. Video content is what you should be doing. So that was a big mistake. So I encourage you, don't downplay something that feels too new or too trendy without doing your proper research, without testing it out, without seeing if it'll be a benefit to your business. Because I definitely think I slowed down the progress of my business by ignoring the fact that TikTok was a tool that could be used to grow your business and your audience organically. I was spending so much money on Facebook ads that I really could have been saving or putting towards something else, and using TikTok and Instagram Reels at that time to naturally and organically get the same results, right? So do not be afraid or too picky to test out what might actually be working for the times. My fifth mistake, and this one was a huge, and it still haunts me to this day, not creating a marketing plan from the beginning. I'm gonna just say it, everything is marketing. Everything is a funnel. You take your customers through some type of funnel journey, some type of marketing tactic in every way if you are trying to reach them. So stop acting like marketing is so scary. That was me, right? I was so scared of marketing. I thought a marketing plan had to be hiring all these people. It had to be executed in a specific way, when really a marketing plan is a set of goals and a plan to reach them. That's all it is. So for me, I set two types of goals every single month. I set a customer goal and I set a financial goal, or orders goal. So customer goal meaning how many, or I don't even know if I would say potential customer goal is what I'll call it. How I want to get new eyes, new folks on my email list, new followers on my social media. Setting those goals for folks to join my email list and to get more eyes on my products and to get more sales. I'm able to I work backwards and create a marketing plan that caters toward those goals, right? So if I know that I want to get more people on my email list, then I know that I need to be creating content that leads people to sign up for my email list. So that is what I mean by don't overthink a marketing plan, but you need to have one. That was a huge mistake. I didn't have one for a while. I was creating stuff on the spot. I wasn't automating stuff. I wasn't really being super intentional about my brand, and that backfired in quite a few ways for a while until I got it down pat. So don't make that same mistake that I made. My sixth mistake, and this one, I'm gonna just keep it simple. I was pricing my products wrong. I knew the formula. So the formula for the industry that I am in, which is footwear, is cost of goods times 300% equals retail price. Super great, right? But I wasn't factoring in shipping at one point. Sometimes I wasn't even factoring in the time, the market. Like, yeah, this might be the traditional formula, but I didn't account for the shoebox that I had to purchase, the shipping box, the paper to print out the labels, all of those things. I wasn't putting all of those things in there. And then also my time, I wasn't calculating my time as the person running this business into that. So I was almost just kind of like making my money back once I started to look at my break even numbers and things like that. I really wasn't pricing my products the correct way. That's going to be huge. Price your products correctly. If you market to the right audience, your prices will never be a problem. Prices are always only a problem when you are marketing to the wrong audience. So know that and understand that, and you'll be able to avoid that mistake. And I won't jump on that too much because I'm going to do a full video on how to price products. The last one that this is actually kind of recent, probably within the last 6 months, I realized that my policies, even though they were clear, they weren't posted clearly enough. So I have a privacy policy, which is how your information is used on our website, all of that. I have terms and conditions, meaning how you agree to use our site, what you agree to by using our site. And then I have shipping and returns policy as well, and a fulfillment policy. Folks don't read a bunch of policies and stuff, right? But that's not on me as the business owner. It's on me as the business owner to make sure that they still exist, to make sure that it's out there. Because at some point, when someone runs into an issue, they're going to want to know, well, why can't I return these shoes that I wore? Or where is my package? I never got it. What is the policy for replacing that package or things like that? So I learned very quickly, and in particular, and I'm not even going to hold back, one of the things, my shipping policy, I was using the United States Postal Service, USPS, and they are not reliable, at least not right now. Just between January and February of this year, 7 of my packages went through a specific facility. It was in Philadelphia, and all of those packages were lost. They were scanned in, and none of those packages made it to their destination. My customers had purchased USPS ground, meaning there was no, what do you call it? There was no insurance. That's what it is. There was no insurance on their package. They opted out of the insurance. Now, I do offer on my site, which was the only thing that protected me in a sense from that, is I offer for people to insure their package, that signature upon delivery, for $2.99. And I let them know, if you opt out of this, I don't have a way to help you retrieve your package or the cost of your package. Like, you don't get a second pair of shoes because USPS can't find your package. Once it's in the hands of the carrier, it is the carrier's responsibility to get it to you, which is why you have to insure the package with them. And I offer that. Some people deny it and decline it, but it's in my terms and policies. Here's the thing. People weren't reading it, but they were checking the box. They were checking the box that, yep, totally okay that if USPS doesn't deliver my package, I'm going to deal with USPS. I won't contact you. What happened? Of course, these people contacted me, and I had to say, hey, here's my policy. You have to go through USPS. Because there was no insurance, no signature upon delivery, I, as the sender, had no rights to this package once it left. There's nothing I could do about you getting your package back because there's no insurance on it. It's just showing that it's in their system. I'm not able to look at anything different, nothing like that. So that became a huge deal for me as a business owner. I did replace those packages this go round because I had the capacity to, but that was a big loss for me. And then USPS actually sent an email that was pretty ridiculous in my opinion, but I had to clarify my policies because there's no ownership for the USPS in particular. The United States Postal Service is actually protected under law. If they lose, damage, or steal your package and it's not insured, you got to take an L. It's literally under law. You cannot sue them. You can do nothing about it. And that's something that I also learned, is that packages get stolen in the process, and that's one of the reasons I took my branding off of my packages. So I used to have like the Faye Nicole box on the outside. I don't do any of that. I try to keep the packages as inconspicuous as possible. But anyway, that was one of the biggest policies that I realized people weren't noticing. So I send it out an email now. There's a check box that you have to actually check. Like, you cannot even place your order without acknowledging that you see the terms and conditions and the shipping policy around my site. And then also letting folks know, like I put very clearly, here's who you need to contact when you need to contact them. Here's how you contact Faye Nicole. But then I also, with the shipping thing, I switched carriers. I no longer use USPS. I use UPS now. They just were more reliable, and all of their ground shipping comes with insurance. So at least I know that my customers can get their money back, or I can get the money back to resend to them, whatever it is, to really help navigate any kind of loss. But that was a huge deal. When you think about 7 packages in 1 month, my shoes go at anywhere from $88 to $150 a pop. And you really think about how much loss actually happened, that I sent out a pair and then I had to replace a second pair, or customers lost money in some kind of way, or whatever that might look like. It becomes a hassle. So that was a really big mistake. But these were my big 7 mistakes. There were so many more that I've probably made, and maybe I'll do a part 2 to this video of some more mistakes that I've made in my business, and also how I overcame some of these. I'll definitely be sure to add that to the list. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave me a comment. Don't forget to like this video, to share this video with someone who needs to see it, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video.